Alright, Schlockmeisters fans, we're going to watch an old cable classic from the 80s, film from the 70s though. Massacre at Central High. This is a VHS tape. Let's check it out. Meet Bruce, Paul, and Craig. They're bullies.
We'll start again.
And that's Robert Carradine.
Did you do that? Well, I am sorry. I thought you were.
And this is David, a new kid.
Here. Yeah, you've got a lot of learning to do. Oh, great. You offering to help? Sure.
David is friends with Mark, Andrew Stevens. What he doesn't know is that Mark is friends with those other three jerks. They run the school.
We take care of you. We? Let me introduce you to my buddies. This is Bruce, Paul, and Craig.
Those four guys spend their time bullying people, and David doesn't quite fit in. He doesn't like this. And they trash Rodney's car. Mark's girlfriend is Kimberly Beck.
Is it about your friend David?
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's just a feeling. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right. I hope he fits in.
Why wouldn't he?
Look, I know what you're thinking, but you gotta understand, you've changed, man. Yeah, sure I have. And you should too. Hey, you like fighting people every day like we used to?
I think your pal David means trouble.
Now, what do you mean? He's a great guy.
I know he's your friend,
That's right, he's my friend.
but he seems to be looking for a fight.
We'll give it to him. He's just aloof.
Here those assholes starting to trash the library. Yes, that's a poor library, 800, all those books. But David wants to help him clean up.
Don't you people ever fight back? That's a very dangerous and ill-conceived notion, my friend.
Things take a really serious turn when the guys decide they're going to rape a couple of the girls, played by Cheryl Rainbow Smith and Lanny O'Grady. Well, David comes to their rescue.
Jump in without thinking.
David talks to Teresa, Mark's girlfriend.
I don't know, the anger just builds up inside and takes over.
What you need is some kind of a release for all your anger.
I'm disappointed in you, man. David's left must have rattled your brain. Already started a fight, okay? That's reason enough to waste him. Except he beat you, all of you. And if you were thinking straight, man, you'd realize he's a good guy to have with us, not against.
Mark found them frolicking on the beach in the water, naked, skinny dipping, and walks away dejected. He's going to try to give him one more chance. Mark stays behind, but the other three bullies go to visit him, David, and an accident occurs.
There was a moment before the accident. They were on the beach, talking and feeling close. We went skinny dipping. I wanted to make love, and I think he did too. But he wouldn't, because of you.
David returns to school with a permanent limp now in his right leg.
See, you're okay. I want to thank you for not implicating us.
Ratting on people isn't my style.
So Bruce is into hang gliding, and somebody had messed with his hang glider, which leads to him frying. Wonder who did that. Meanwhile, David finds a note into the bulletin board about the school pool being closed due to cleaning. A note to Craig, actually. The next day, he rigs the lights, or that night he rigs the lights so they don't turn on, and Craig doesn't know that there's no water in the pool. Well, that leaves Paul. Now, Paul is sleeping in the back of the van, and David gives it a push near the top of a hill. And that's the end of Paul.
I knew it. I thought I knew with Bruce. And the others, I was sure.
But with all the bullies gone, there's an interesting turn of events at the school. The bullied are now the new bullies. Teresa goes to talk to David.
I can't do anything I can't talk to.
I don't want you to talk to him. I just don't want you to kill him.
What did he tell you?
Even Rodney's become an asshole.
Try and park as far away from those other buggies as I can so I won't get dented or scratched. You know, it's a disgrace just having to park on the same lot with these other buggies.
Needless to say, David is very disappointed now in what's become. Robert Carradine, Spooner, and his two
What is
chicks.
it now? More empty, bombastic threats? These are hardly empty, are they?
I don't know exactly what happened here, but somehow they fried his ear and he died.
They are.
And then there's this guy's been pushing everybody around. Looks like David's getting the new bullies too. Even Rodney isn't spared. Barbara Carrading's having a threesome with Cheryl Smith and Lonnie O'Grady. Now, apparently Spooner, Robert Carradine's character, is the suspect they think has been killing everybody. And this guy suspects David of actually being it, and he wants to frame Mark for all the killings.
Well, here's my idea. Now, what would happen if we both just happened to have seen Mark plant one or two bombs? I mean, we'd have to tell the authorities once we realized what we'd seen. We let the law take care of him. You inherit Teresa, and I inherit the school.
Then you force me. Why? Now, there's three guys. Even me, okay. But why the others? What did they do to you?
That's not the point. They didn't have a chance. So I got rid of the guys keeping them down. But when they were on their own, they were as bad as the ones I killed. I couldn't bring them back, so to be fair, I had to get rid of the others.
Well, Teresa shows up. David pulls a gun on them and then locks them both in here. He's planning to blow up the school.
What's he gonna do?
They break out and go to the dance.
We're staying.
Well, I'm leaving.
Well, David does indeed have a change of heart and goes to get that bomb from the basement. And he's trying to get it outside.
We say he discovered that Spoonie, Mary, and Jane had left one more bomb, and he came to remove it.
That's our movie. Alright, let's talk about Massacre at Central High. It's a movie I saw back in the early 80s. Popped up on cable quite a bit. HBO, Showtime, the movie channel, that's what we had. Saw this a lot, and I really liked the movie a lot. The lead character, David, always reminded me of Paul Molitor. Now, growing up in Wisconsin, very, very big Brewers fan, and Molitor was, well, he was awesome. So, anyway, he always reminded me of Paul Molitor. But anyway, the movie is about this guy, David, who moves to this new town, and he meets up with his friend Mark, who is at the local high school, and Mark, turns out, is kind of a bully. He has these three friends, Bruce, Paul, and Craig. The four of them kind of rule the school, and they rule by force. They are bullies. They just act like total jerks and assholes. And, well, Mark's been saying, hey, David's got to join our group, but David sees them behaving like this, and he doesn't really want to join that. He doesn't like that sort of thing. And then he gets pushed a little too far when he sees these guys, three of the guys, not Mark, trying to assault these two girls, Cheryl Smith and Lonnie O'Grady from 8 is Enough. And he intervenes and beats the hell out of all three of them. Well, they want blood at this point, but then Mark is like, hey, we should really get him on our side. You know, we don't want him to be against us. He's awesome. He's strong. So they give him one more chance, but that doesn't work. And ultimately they go, the three of them, not Mark, go to pay David a visit, to threaten him, bully him, whatever. And an accident occurs, and this car falls on his leg, crippling him, or basically giving him a limp for the rest of his life. So David doesn't tell on them. Instead, he decides to exact revenge by killing them one at a time. He kills one of them, Craig, I think, with a hang glider. Kills the next guy, Bruce, Oh, no, he killed Bruce with the hang glider. Then he killed Craig in the swimming pool with no water. Then he pushed the car that Paul was in and went over a cliff. Mark has figured it all out. He knows that David's doing this and doesn't really do anything to stop him, though. In fact, Mark's girlfriend, Teresa, also figures out she doesn't do anything to stop it either. So they just let David run amok, I guess. Well, turns out all the people who are being bullied in the school by these bullies are now becoming bullies themselves. And that really disappoints David. So he decides he's going to kill all of them, too. And he does. It turns out that he killed Cheryl Smith, Lonnie O'Grady, and Robert Carradine. They were kind of like a threesome. And they were actually the suspects in all these murders, planting bombs and such. So with them gone, it looks like he might be in the clear at this point. Ultimately, he decides he's going to blow up the school at the school dance. Well, Mark and Teresa find out about it, and they try to stop him from doing it by showing up at the dance. He warns them, get out of here, you're going to be dead in 3 minutes. But they say, nope, we're not leaving, hoping that David changes his mind, which he does. He goes and grabs the bomb, tries to run it out of the school, but it's a little too late. He blows himself up in the process, and that's our movie. So anyway, I think this is a really, really good movie. It came out in 1976, and actually Roger Ebert, I think, put it on his 10 best of the year. It really is a very well decent film. It's not really a slasher film, but it is kind of in that genre, but it's very, very well done. Andrew Stevens obviously went on to do other things. Robert Carradine, of course, Lonnie O'Grady was 8 is Enough, and Cheryl Rainbow Smith did a million exploitation films in the 70s and 80s. She has a nude scene in here, as does Lonnie O'Grady. And Kimberly Beck, actually, a full frontal nude scene on the beach, frolicking in the water. Now, this movie has been released on DVD overseas. However, it's not a very good DVD from what I've read. It's more of like a VHS rip. If you look online on Amazon and eBay, you will find a DVD release by this company, Cinema Classics Desert Island Films. This is a DVD-R also. It's not a legitimate copy. I'm not sure how these people get away with selling this stuff on Amazon, because this isn't the only movie they do. They have tons of them, but power to them. They're able to do it. So there you go. So anyway, I have the pre-recorded VHS tape of it, and I've looked at it, compared a burned copy I made of this to the Desert Island disc, and they're identical. So clearly that seems to be a VHS rip. So Synapse reported they're going to release this film on Blu-ray, but it's been sitting in limbo for about 3 years now, I think. I do have it on good authority, though, that they're hoping to have it out this fall. So when that happens, of course, I will pick it up, because this definitely needs an upgrade. Apparently they were waiting on the director to get some extras that he was going to do. So anyway, that is Massacre at Central High. I think it's a fantastic film, a really good film, and you should watch it. So check it out. Perhaps it's streaming on YouTube, I don't know, but I'll leave a link down below. I think the Desert Island Classic disc is available on Amazon, so I'll just leave you a link to that. So check it out, leave some comments, watch it, let me know what you think about it. Massacre at Central High. Bye.